I'm crying at my cat serving face. Like, she's so cute, bro. Let me see if I can stretch her. No, she's too tense for that. Anyway, hey everyone, welcome back to another video with Electric Soul. If you're new to my channel, I'm a psychic medium, a spiritual life coach, and just a spiritual girl, putting everybody on alongside a whole lot of other things. But today in this video, guys, we're gonna be talking about maladaptive daydreaming, and it's something that was discussed in my last live, which was on Thursday. You know, law of assumption based. Within that live, we were talking about basically maladaptive daydreaming and just well, it wasn't technically about the spirituality behind it. People were mentioning spiritual maladaptive daydreaming, and that was something that I feel like was pretty important to talk about because I don't feel like it's talked about a lot, and it is something that does very deeply affect people. And I'm not saying this in the way that it affects people where, you know, I don't know, like, oh, I mean, it does. It can literally put people into spiritual psychosis if they let it. But I mean, more in the way that I wanted to talk about this from a perspective of how you can empower yourself through daydreaming, spiritually speaking. And obviously, maladaptive is, it's not like a good habit, you know what I mean? Like to maladaptively do anything. But obviously, we can make the most out of this. And this doesn't have to be something where it's like, oh, it's bad, don't do it, whatever. Because daydreaming, I feel like, is, I don't want to say it's a necessity, but it feels like one in the sense that when you're daydreaming, I mean, you literally are creating your reality through the things that you're choosing to see within your mind's eye. And that is all something that does reflect within your reality because as you're daydreaming, you could daydream about anything that you'd like, that you want, that you intend to see more of, whatever it is, your intentions, and then that stuff will manifest as a result of that. You know what I'm saying? Hey guys, what's up? I see y'all. What's up, guys? Okay, so to read y'all the definition of what maladaptive daydreaming is, it's called, or yes, maladaptive daydreaming as a whole. It's not spiritual. This is just the technical term, okay? So it's also called excessive daydreaming. It's when an individual experiences excessive daydreaming that interferes with daily life. It is a diagnosis that basically stems from a disorder form of like dissociative absorption, which is associated with excessive fantasy, lol. And it can make people feel distressed, stressed out. It can replace human interaction. And it can also interfere with normal functioning life, basically with your social life, with your work, things like that. And this all stems back from Eli Sommer. So they come from the University of Haifa. And yeah, so that's one thing. Okay, so that's maladaptive daydreaming as a whole. Now, when we talk about spiritual maladaptive daydreaming, it comes from the sense that you're basically creating your own world, right? Like you're creating your own world, you're seeing the things that you want to see. Maybe you daydream that you're like a fairy or something like that, like literally anything that's fantasy based. I don't want to say just like that because spiritual goes very far and deep. Like for myself, I know that if I ever were to like spiritually daydream about things, it's always stuff that's very, to me, feels monumental. It doesn't feel like, oh, I'm a vampire and like I'm running through the woods. Like that's not how I daydream typically. I like to daydream usefully. So if I ever daydream in like a spiritual sense, the way that I see it is like the whole world healing. Like literally, I'll see like the whole world being covered in a lot of healing energy and being able to get better, being able to be stronger, things like that. You know what I mean? Like I'll use it to my advantage, but of course with maladaptive daydreaming, that's something where you take things to the next level and you almost are feeding, unintentionally feeding a spiritual psychosis spell that you could be under in the sense that, let's say, for example, you're somebody who does not like your reality. Okay. Like this is just a general example, but I feel like it's something that does, what's it called? Like resonate with people who perhaps entertain escapism. You know what I mean? Like when you're trying to escape from your reality and you don't want to see the things that you see. So you create your own life and things like that. And this is not to me the same thing as manifesting a new life in that sense, because I feel like with that, you understand it's tangible. Like you know that you're manifesting a physical reality that you want. X, Y, and Z. But with spiritual maladaptive daydreaming, I feel like it's kind of like the opposite. You don't feel like it's tangible. You feel like the things that you're seeing are things that you want to experience, but you don't actually physically experience them. And it almost serves as a way for you to escape your reality because when you go to this other world that you're creating in your mind, basically, then you feel better. But the thing is that that's still escapism because this world that you're creating in your reality is not one that you're physically in right now. I do believe though that if you see everything spiritually, even within your mind's eye, I do believe that your essence is there. You know what I mean? So that kind of reminds me, I'm sure that you guys remember, but do you guys remember when what was that, shifting was like a huge thing, but I'm talking about shifting from dimensions to other dimensions, like people who were going to Hogwarts. That was like the biggest thing I remember. Things like that, like other universes and stuff like that. I feel like in a spiritual sense, it's like, yes, technically, because you are creating that and because you are visualizing that, sure, like you are technically there spiritually speaking, spiritually, because remember, guys, our spirits are very flowy in this lifetime. I'm just saying, from all different dimensions, we got first dimension, second dimension, third dimension, the 3D, the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension. I think it goes up to like ninth dimension plus. There are so many different dimensions, okay? And when you're dreaming at night, when you go to sleep, when you lucid dream, when you are astral projecting, when you're doing anything that you do, spiritually speaking, with intention, you even meditating, you go to the void, like we stated in last week's video, talking about the void in the law of assumption, a state of consciousness. All of these states of consciousness are still things that are real, even if you don't physically see them, and they still exist simply because you have created that reality for yourself. That is why the mind is so powerful and important. It's because you're able to literally make you're able to make the way of your soul, almost in the way that if you create that reality for yourself and for your soul is literally going there. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's like one thing though, right? You know this as a side fact. Great, that's brilliant. Now, upon you knowing all of this, just because you've shifted to Hogwarts, for example, or you've shifted to the Twilight universe or something, it's not to say that you sit down and you let that become your entire life. Like, it's not supposed to enthrall like every ounce of your being. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have a healthy discernment between what it is that you're physically experiencing and what it is that you're spiritually experiencing. Because I know for myself, I actually have had things like this, like maladaptive spiritual daydreaming, stuff like that, affect me before. And I'm going to tell y'all about it. It wasn't like spiritual psychosis or anything like that, but it was something that was all, I feel like it was like a branch of it, if that makes sense. Okay. So I'll tell you guys like really clear. So when I was 17 years old and I went through my spiritual awakening for the first time, I remember my whole life shifted. It changed everything. Everything changed, like literally everything that I knew, every egotistical definition and concept to me, it suddenly started to die because I felt like it no longer resonated with me at all. And I remember that I got to this point and I genuinely believed this, and I still believe it, but I do understand that this is like an earth, like we're on a physical earth right now, right? So we're not just all spirits flying around, right? We have to eat, we have to survive basically. I was going to say we have to buy things. We don't have to buy things. I feel like that's more of like a concept that was put onto us obviously, but the general things, you have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to take care of your body, things like that, your physical nature, the people around you, whatever, okay? But at the time, I remember that I was so disconnected from the physical world, literally, like I'm telling you guys, I was so disconnected from the spirit, from the physical world, from the 3D, from experiencing ego things, like things like that, that I got to this point. I remember I told my friend who was also really spiritual at the time, we were friends. I was like, I remember what did I say? I said, I don't want to live on an earth anymore where we have to do things like that. I just want to literally be a soul. Like, I just want to be a soul. I just want to be a soul where we don't have to do anything like that. We don't have to buy food. We don't have to buy things. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to eat. We don't have to sleep. Like, let's just be free and get along with everybody. Okay. Very peaceful, obviously. But these are all very soulful things. Okay. And it's not to say that that can't happen, because I do believe that that is a real thing. I believe that if I feel that way, if I ever felt that way, it's because that concept is definitely very true. And it's most likely when you pass away or when you are a soul without a physical body. But I remember when I said that, I meant it. And I remember how it sounded when I said it. But I knew that I meant it, which was the part that was almost like not concerning, but it was something that stood out to me. I was like, okay, wait, you meant that though. Like, when you say things and you think to yourself, wait, I don't mean that. Like, nah, it sounds silly. No, I like meant it. I remember thinking, yeah, like literally, why can't we do that? Why can't we just be souls and just not, not do any of this earthly shit? Like, let's just not do it anymore. I was like dead ass. Like, I was being serious. Let's do it. Let's commit ourselves to not doing any of this ego stuff anymore. And then I remember I was like when after I said, I thought about it and I was like, wait, like that can't apply here. I no, what it was yes, I was like, this can't apply here. But the reason that what made me really say that was realizing that we're on Earth. Like in that moment, it just came up, like it came across me, it came upon me that I was like, we're on a planet Earth, bro. Like I can't just stop doing the things that you physically have to do to be alive on this earth. Like you have to do these things in order to survive, because if not, then I will lose my physical body. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing, stemming back to this main topic at hand, is that the maladaptive spiritual daydreaming of that all is that I genuinely believed, and I was creating this reality in my mind that I wanted to carry out from a very spiritual sense. Like I no longer wanted this ego shit anymore. No longer, no longer, no longer. And I remember that after that, I also told myself, I was like, okay, well, you have to find a balance now. Like you have to find a really perfect balance between the two, because it's very clear that you very much want to indulge completely in spirituality, in the sense of being a soul, not doing anything else, just being a soul and vibing in that way and it being great. And that's fine, right? Like that's great, but you have to remember responsibilities. Like you're not going to stop showering because you're just a soul. You don't have a body now to take care of. Yes, you do. Like you still use the bathroom, you still do the things that you do. Like that doesn't change unless you've passed away. So while you're on this earth, you have to understand that this fine line between the spirituality and the physicality of everything should be heavily implemented into, perhaps if you are somebody who likes to maladaptive daydream. I'm not even going to say maladaptive. If you like to spiritually daydream, if you like to spiritually daydream in that sense, you have to be healthy about the way and the things that you focus on as you're doing so, because these things can ultimately affect you if you're someone who's super in touch with such spiritual matters at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are a lot of people who do create things in their mind, a lot of people who maybe they visualize themselves being like a dragon or something, like genuinely. There's like a whole bunch of different things that people take it upon themselves, excuse me, to see. And I'm saying spiritually specifically because maladaptive daydreaming period is just everything. Like you can daydream about living in a mountain or on a mountain, and you live in Sweden and no one touches you, no one bothers you. This is my life, and you genuinely believe like that's your reality. That can be your reality, but the thing is that there's a difference again between you knowing that you're manifesting these things and you actually living in your head. You know what I mean? And again, even with that, there's a subcategory. There's also a difference within you manifesting that in your head and also understanding, for example, while you're manifesting these things, that, okay, no, I live in that mountain, I live in Sweden, no one touches me, no one bothers me, but you're still taking care of your reality. Like you're not going to completely push away everything that you have to do in your life because no, I live there. Like I live in that place and that's it. That's it. Like fuck everything else here. I'm not doing anything. You can do that, I guess. Like if you really want to stop and let go of all these responsibilities in your reality, you can do that. But I'm going to tell you guys, obviously, as people in our realities, just because you're keeping up with yourself in your life and you're doing the things that matter and you're doing the things that you technically have to do, not things that you don't want to do, but things that you have to do, like take care of yourself and things like that. You can still trust that what you're visualizing is still manifesting. It's not to say it's not. Just don't neglect yourself in this reality, even through the things that you're spiritually daydreaming about that bring you a lot of joy, that change your life, that maybe, like I stated, is escapism. You know what I'm saying? Because, for example, again, maladaptive daydreaming, not spiritual based, this is a reality where you're visualizing yourself kissing your favorite actor, being on a show that you want to be on. Maybe, I don't know, literally, let's say that you've never surfed a day in your life and now you're visualizing yourself in a different country surfing every single day. Okay. These are things that can definitely, or these are things that I feel like are healthy to an extent, but if you are literally indulging yourself so far into it that this is now your whole life, that is a different story. And that is why I'm saying for the spiritual maladaptive daydreaming or spiritual daydreaming, you have to be sure to bring yourself right back to earth where you are. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't go flying out into the world and just forget everything else. You have to remember, guys, that as you are spiritually daydreaming about the things that you're daydreaming about, I feel like one of the most important things is really getting in touch with the things in your reality that make you feel the best, that make you feel the most powerful, and that you do want to indulge in, but not so much to the point that you feel like you're almost losing a part of yourself. And as a 12th house stellium, right here. And my Neptune is in the 12th house as well. I am a huge dreamer. I dream all the time. I love to dream. I will literally go back to sleep to dream on purpose. I will take naps to dream. I will daydream if I want to. I will literally I can dream all fucking day if I really wanted to, okay, and I have. And through all of my daydreaming experiences, there's a lot of things that I've learned in terms of what's healthy for me and what is not so healthy for me, because there've been plenty of times that I would daydream about things that I would become so enthralled with, like, so consumed by the things that I was seeing, that it felt like that was my life, and that's it, and fuck everything else, I don't live here. But it's like, I didn't even think that deeply about it. I wasn't like, "Oh, I don't live here. This is not my life." No, I just, like, only focused on what I was daydreaming about. You know what I'm saying? And it got to a point, and this has happened several times throughout my life, so this is not, like, my first rodeo, okay? But the last time that this happened, I remember that I literally pulled myself back and I was like, "This is not healthy in the like, this is not your healthiest self. This is not you being your healthiest self." Excuse me. This is not you being somebody who stands on business and the things that you want in such a carefree way, where you understand that even if you are daydreaming in this way, you're still holding it down, but you're acting like you're not holding it down because you're so focused on what it is that you're seeing in your mind. And it is a really good feel good moment. You feel me? Like, you do feel good. You feel happy, like, you feel like, "Okay, like, that's really nice, that's really cool," but that does not take up more of your physical reality than anything else. Like, everything that's here physically, that's the biggest focus for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I wanna be focused on in my reality, where I'm making things great in my life so that I can physically live them out, and where daydreaming, spiritual daydreaming, is a plus, but it's not the whole picture. I don't want the spiritual daydreaming concepts to be my entire life, where it's like, okay, yes, this is where I am, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and this is so great, and I love this, and oh, fuck all this stuff that's going on here. Let's focus up here. Listen, it's cute. I get it. Like, for real, it's fun. It's really fun. I really do understand that. But I just feel like there's such an unhealthy thing about, like, a unhealthy feel to that, that is a choice to definitely indulge yourself into. I will say there have been moments where I couldn't stop thinking about these things. Like, I would daydream so hard that I was like I stated, I was literally consumed by it, but I mean literally consumed by it. You know what I mean? Like, I had my whole vision placed into that one aspect instead of everything else around me, and that became my whole life. And I felt like at that time when I was really realizing what I was doing to myself, that I was neglecting my physical reality more than I was taking care of myself, and more than I was taking care of basically what I was creating. Like, I'm manifesting a great reality and I'm doing that efficiently, but everything that's going on up here is something that's of a whole other world. Like, visualizing, I can give y'all another example. Let's say that you're someone who likes to visualize fantasy things, right? Like, mystical things, whatever. If you're thinking so much about you being a vampire, again, for example, you're visualizing yourself being a vampire and you're just creating this whole world for yourself, and that's all you're focusing on at all times. It's understandable and it is cool, but it's not more important than what's in front of you. And on that basis, actually, another example I'll give y'all from actual personal example is that I watched Twilight and the series of Twilight for, like, I think, like, a year straight. I watched it for so long. Like, I watched it back to back to back to back because also, um, it was on TV, it was on you it was, like, constantly playing, so I would watch it, okay? And I wasn't obsessed, like, I wasn't like, "Oh my god, my whole life." Like, no, I feel like I've outgrown being, like, deeply obsessed like that, but I was, like, really, really intrigued by the movies, and I'm not even kidding, like, I'm not exaggerating at all. Every single time I went to sleep, bruh, every single freaking night, I would have a dream of me being in the Twilight universe, and I'm not kidding. Like, I literally would be with, like, Bella and with the Cullens and shit, like, even Jacob's family, like, that whole thing. It was like I was in the world of it, and it felt like I would see such a personal perspective of that, and when I would wake up every single day, I'd be like, "I cannot believe I keep dreaming about this." Like, I would just always say, like, "Oh my god, I dreamt about Twilight again?" Like, I'm literally in the world. I'm always in the world. I don't know why. I feel like that's like a little taste of what it's like for people to actually consciously do this, because for me, it wasn't conscious. Like, I didn't implement that before I went to bed. I wasn't like, "Let's dream about Twilight tonight." No, I didn't expect that, but I would dream about those things, and I feel like that also makes me realize that there's people out here who do intentionally daydream about things like that. You know what I mean? Like, they take it upon themselves to sit down and really visualize that and, like, get super wrapped up in it all. And it is a cute time, you know, because I didn't mind those dreams. I thought they were pretty cool. It was a lot, but it's almost like think about the fact that there's some people out here who will actually literally intentionally think about these things obsessively, so much to the point that they don't want to live their life because they're so focused on this life that they've created in their minds. And it's a life that maybe even for you it's like not completely complimentary because it's not true to your soul, but it's something that keeps you entertained. It's fun, it's cool to see, whatever, it's interesting, but that's not the whole picture, you know? And I feel like even for all of you guys out here, I believe that spiritual psychosis is a real thing, obviously. I've seen it happen with some people. I actually knew someone who was completely, like, wrapped up in, like, a spiritual I don't wanna say it was an episode, but it could have been an episode, but they were, like, very spiritually I don't wanna say psychotic. It was just, like, they were very spiritually, like, wrapped up in stuff that they shouldn't have been so wrapped up in. And unfortunately, that person actually ended up, like, taking their life, which was really unfortunate, but it was something they were really young, it was when I was in high school, it was this guy that I knew, and he was very obsessed with, like I don't know, like, I believed him in a way, I really did, because I feel like he had sense to him, like, I remember thinking that the things that he was saying does make sense, but I also knew that he was very like, deeply like his whole being was wrapped around this identity of being someone who he would tell me that he would like what is that word? What is that word when you like levitate? That he would levitate and he would like control the weather and just things like that. And I do believe that is like a real concept. I have seen people like literally do that. I don't know if y'all have seen like those videos, but there's like people who do stuff like that. And I believe it. I believe if you believe it, like it's true. But I believe for this specific person that I'm talking about, I feel like he took things too too extreme for himself. I feel like it was too like overwhelming for him. And I feel like ultimately, you know, things like definitely got out of hand, you know. And yeah, he ended up like taking his life and it was like a crazy thing to hear about because I knew him. But I feel like that the biggest lesson that I learned through, like, talking to him and knowing him and even that whole experience, like, that whole thing that he went through within himself is understanding that there is, like it's like a fine line, bro, like, the spirituality and the egotistical aspects of this world, they seem very thin when you, like, actually think about it because, I mean, it is, like, every action is spiritual, everything you say is spiritual, every intention, everything you see, it's all spiritual, but you need to find the fine balance between spirituality and the ego, 3D, because if not, then you wouldn't be a human being, you know? And if you're not meant to be a human being, you wouldn't be. You would be spirit, but you are a human being. And because you are one, you have to be careful about the way that you think about these things from a general standpoint, like for the long term, for the long run, because you know, it's something that can ultimately affect you. You know, even with this person, like I was just telling you about the one who took his life, he was very consumed by that. Like he genuinely was only living from that perspective of X, Y, and Z, like the things that he would tell me about. Excuse me. He would tell me things that were not conspiracies, but just like it was just like stuff that I don't know. It was just like it was pretty bizarre, you know what I mean? Like, it was a bit bizarre, and I feel like he really believed those things, and it was just like everything that he would talk about, everything that he was, everything. It kinda reminds me of Black Mirror. Do y'all remember that episode? Okay, I never really watched Black Mirror like that, but did y'all ever play that game, like, 8 years ago? Maybe not. But, okay, a long time ago on Netflix I don't watch Netflix, and I don't use Netflix anymore either, but a long time ago when I had Netflix, it was, like, literally 2018, I think. I think it was, like, actually 2018, which is, like, 8 years ago, yeah. So there was this game, it was a Black Mirror game, and it was an interactive game. I'm sure if I look it up right now, I could show you guys. In the game, though, basically, you choose options for the character to make choices, and those choices ultimately make up the entire game. So in it, I feel like this is a great example. There's unbelievable amounts of spiritual psychosis playing in the game. So one of the main characters, one of the options for him, he like took a tab of Ellis or took a tab of acid and he asked the main character, he was like, "Do you like I'm gonna jump off this balcony. And if I jump, you're gonna see I'm not gonna die." Yes, thank you, Bandersnatch. Hold on, let me look it up. They were like, I forgot his name, but he was like, "If I jump off this balcony, um, I'm not going to die because here it is.
It's a nice breeze up there.
Colin. Okay. So yeah, this guy Colin is freaking out.
Which one of us is jumping?
Which one of us is jumping? So you have to make a choice. Which one of us is gonna jump?
You do.
You do it. Okay, so he's literally gonna kill himself. Yeah, so I'm not gonna show you guys. Okay, well that's gross. Okay, so he did that. All right, and he died. All right. So in that game, I remember it was like either the guy who makes the decision does it, or the one who's asking does it. Either one, you both are gonna pass away. Okay, so they both died, and I remember when I watched that, I was like, "Holy shit!" Because I felt like that was something that like people actually go through. You know what I mean? Like some people, if you get that wrapped up in all of it, you actually think that like I'm not gonna die. Like I'll literally just what is it called? Respawn, basically. Or I will just I mean, it's true, energy will transfer. So if you do pass away that way, your energy will go somewhere else. But in this case, he was talking about the physicality of it. My physical body will reappear and I will be fine. But you won't be, bruh, because you're a human being. Like, yes, spiritual. Yes, you got energy. Yes, your energy will move. Yes, everything will transfer. Like the spirituality of it is very real, but you're still a physical freaking being, bro. And if you jump off a cliff, you're not going to survive that, obviously. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this all goes back to Sam about maladaptive daydreaming, and now I'm going to say maladaptive because this is unhealthy, you know what I'm saying, to get so invoked into something like that. But in that sense, yes, it makes complete and total sense why getting so wrapped up in something like that is something that you have to be sure to ground yourself. I think someone mentioned grounding. I'm going to read the comments in a second. But grounding yourself is literally the most important thing because you can just easily get wrapped up in something else that maybe partially it does belong to you, but it's not the whole thing, guys. Please remember that. Your brain is not everything that there is. There's a whole world out here. There's a bunch of different things out here that you are seeing, experiencing, and will be a part of in this reality. It doesn't just end and it begins in your brain because your brain does create your reality, but you don't live in your head. You create with your mind, but you still live your physical life. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna read the comments though, because I saw some stuff, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. But first, thank you guys so much for like bringing this up to me to talk about because as I'm telling y'all, I feel like this is like mad important. I mean, all this stuff is really important, but y'all can see how this is like really effective because more people go through this than a lot of people lead on. You know what I mean? Like some people don't think about it, and they don't really point it out because it doesn't feel like a big deal. But the truth is that even for me, like the stuff that I told you that I went through, that's a big deal, even if it doesn't seem like one. You know what I mean? Because I genuinely believed and felt that way. Like I was like, oh yeah, I don't want to live. Like I don't want to be here physically. I want to be a spirit. Like that's it. Why I don't want to eat. Like I don't want to do any of those things. And it's like you have to. You know what I mean? Like you gotta survive physically. Okay. So okay, let me read the comments. But thank you guys so much for asking about that and for talking about that with me too, because this is very important. Okay, so let's see it, guys. Hey CC, hey No Forever, and hey XYZ Worldwide. What's up? Okay, so someone said, Ali said, I'm a maladaptive daydreamer to a fault. I have ADHD, so it could be a pain sometimes. I'd love to learn to shift the way I maladaptive daydream because I often do it from a place of anxious excitement. Okay, so that's actually like literally a great point. Yeah, it's like anxious excitement. That's exactly why I would get so involved into that stuff because I would think that it was so fun to get like to be like entertained, you know what I mean? To like live a different life and things like that. And shifting the focus from maladaptively daydreaming to basically healthily daydreaming is understanding that this is a nice thing that I'm seeing. I'm creating it, I'm still living it. Somewhere spiritually, it is real. But please remember, my life is better than what I'm seeing in my head. Like that's how I always remind myself. Like my life out here, it's just as good and better as the life that I'm seeing in my mind or of the things that I'm dreaming about. Like I always believe, I know some people say like, "Oh, my dreams are better than my reality." Meaning like when you go to sleep at night, your dreams are better. They shouldn't be better. Like that's just not how it's supposed to be, bro. Like if you feel that way genuinely, you have to literally shift your entire life, bro. Like you have to change the things that you do, change the way that you are, change your mindset. If you see yourself being someone who's super confident and self-aware and strong in your mind when you're daydreaming in this way, you have to let yourself be that way too, because if you see it in your mind, it's something that you can actually be. Like it's something that you are. So it's not a matter of, oh, I'm so confident in my mind, but out here, forget it. No, like that's not supposed to be, bro. It's supposed, if anything, it would be better if it were, no, it wouldn't be better if it were the other, I was gonna say it would be better if it were the other way around, but no, it's not. It should always be balanced, okay? So, yes, I understand that, Ali, like, for real, I really do, and I want you to know that even for yourself, though, you can definitely do it. You just have to have a perspective change for yourself, and you have to remember that the things that you're seeing in your mind are just things that you're seeing and that you are spiritually experiencing, but physically, you can also have a really great life if you let yourself, and you can also let that be the focus in your reality where it's like, yeah, I'm creating greatness up here and it's coming out all here. Like both here and out here are great. Both of them are great. Hey Matthew, hey user, hey Reppin TL. Oh cool. I'm glad that you're going to college and that you're getting ready this morning. That's really cute. It's literally like, what time is it here? It's 7:35 here, so PM. So have a great school day. Intending you have a great day. Period. XYZ Worldwide said, I need to hear this. Divine timing, I guess. Period. I'm happy to hear about that. And yes, it definitely is divine timing. And hey, Faria. What's up, boo? Hey. Okay, so Matthew asked, what are some grounding technique we can try for daydreaming? Okay, so I feel like with grounding techniques for daydreaming is like what I was just telling you guys, literally what I was saying to the other person. It's about being committed to having it great both ways. So it's not just when you go to sleep at night, your dreams are great, or if you're daydreaming in your classroom, that's when it's great and everything else fucking sucks. Please, guys, don't let your reality quote unquote suck that much because you can actually make it a lot better for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be so deeply what you think is unhappy in your physical life, so much to the point that you're creating this whole other thing in your mind where you can just calmly talk to yourself and just be like, girl, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay that I feel this way. It's okay that I see the things that I do. Let me just trust that everything out here is also complementary to what I'm creating up here. So it's an equal balance. And it's not a matter of just letting yourself go that way of like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna daydream about all this stuff that makes me feel better. But then when I snap out of it, I don't feel better. No, you have to feel great either way. I really do believe that. And I do believe that your physical reality should be better than the things that you daydream about. And I'm serious because I have like tingles in my hands because there was like a long time that I literally thought that my daydreams were better and they weren't. And you just have to remind yourself, like, you have to know it. You just have to know it. It's like creating your reality, bro. If you're going to make your reality, you have to be strong about it. And you have to trust that what you're creating are all things that you actually want to experience. And that's how you make it happen. So the same thing goes from mind to physicality, always. But okay, really fast. So someone said, Quandiel said, hey, Electra, hey, I'm consistently assuming in favor of what I want, like having clear skin, but there are times when I feel like I'm doing something wrong. And what if I'm doing anything wrong? I love you too, boo. Thank you. Okay, so then in response to that, hold on one second. They said, like, second part of their message, if you want to manifest desired face exactly like celebrity, is it possible? Also, is it possible? Also, it's very illogical to my mind if I say I look like my desired celebrity, my mind feels like I am lying. Okay, so remember, guys, when you're manifesting like face stuff, it's clear skin, whatever it is that you want, please, please, please remember that you're not ever doing anything wrong, guys. Like, okay, not just face things, everything. If you're manifesting anything, you're not doing anything wrong ever. Okay? The only things that you could be quote unquote whatever on, not gonna say messing up on because you're not messing up on shit, but whatever. Let's say you think that you're making a mistake. The only thing that I can say about that is that you're just not giving yourself enough credit. Like, that's literally it. I feel like that's the only way that you can actually be sleeping on yourself is if you're literally sleeping on yourself, is if you're acting like you don't know, is if you're acting like you can't do it, whatever. If you believe in yourself, bro, and you really want this desired skin and you know that you can have that, I'm gonna need y'all to really trust that shit, like with your whole mind, body, heart, soul, and chest, bro. Because if you don't believe in that yourself, then how do you think it's going to happen eventually? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're sitting here waiting for validation constantly and you're not relying on yourself to be the proof that you're manifesting that stuff, then how do you expect to have it if you're literally always looking for external validation? So you need to trust yourself that you're doing something right, everything right. And you can also trust that if you are quote unquote making a mistake in any way, shape, or form, this reality will expose that to you for you to deal with it. And then you can keep on pushing in favor of you assuming the very best of the best because you deserve nothing less than that. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely feel like even with your desired celebrity, if you want to manifest that and you feel like it's very unrealistic, then change the focus. If you feel like that's really unrealistic for you and you cannot get your head wrapped around it and you've affirmed it and you've really set on business with it and you just feel like you cannot get on board with it, then you have to shift your focus because I feel like with the things like that, you have to be you have to like really cater to yourself. You have to shift every single little thing that makes you feel like absolutely not to I absolutely can. Okay. So maybe with your desired celebrity, you don't have to say like we have the same face. You can say similar features if right now that makes you feel the most comfortable. Then upon you seeing similar features, you start to see that reflect within your reality and then you start making moves towards bigger things, quote unquote bigger things that you think are bigger for yourself. They're not actually bigger, but they may feel that way. So in that sense, maybe right now you're saying we look very similar. You can move to we look exactly the same, or we look like we basically have the same face, or I can see the vision. You know what I'm saying? Like really catering to yourself and letting that prove itself to you because it will if you believe in it. I promise you. Like give yourself some space, give yourself some time, but please make yourself feel comfortable and that will manifest period always. Natural mystical mystic angel. That's a cute name. Aw, thank you. They said this is amazing. Keep spreading the message. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much for saying that because this is hella important. I feel like, wow, I never even realized it was until we spoke about it. So I'm really happy. No, I knew it because of my experiences, but like I didn't realize that so many people like underwent things like this too. But I'm of course, like it makes sense. I'm never the only one. Um, thank you though. God bless you. Genuinely, thank you. And then I Iman I Starseed. I'm I'm sorry, I'm trying to read your name. They said, "Hey Electra, I'm so glad you made it live about this because I've been doing this since forever and I just feel like this is so good that more and more people are getting aware of it." Yeah, I agree. I feel like this is really important that people are becoming aware of this because it's really consuming and you don't realize it until you're like in the world of it and then you're like, "Oh my god." What am like almost like you're just making your whole life in that way. Oh, baby. It's like you're creating your whole life in that way. She's so cute. You see her massages. You can sleep, baby. Yeah, it's like your balls deep in some shit that you know that it's like, bro, yes, you feel so consumed by something that you can definitely create away from or create more from, but not to live in a place of just my life is the best when I'm daydreaming. It shouldn't be. Like, I just don't believe that that should be ever be the case. Like, you should always believe in your reality being as great as you want it to be just by default. Just like that. Just because you know that you can. Or just because you know that it's like something that you can do. Like you can live a great life. It doesn't just have to be in your mind, you know? Okay. Damn, I'm thirsty shit. That's what she said. Drink water, guys, please. Every day. Love you guys. Okay. Someone said, hold on. Thank you so much. Of course, girl. Of course. I just need to remind myself that yes, my thoughts can create, but also thoughts can just be thoughts. You're amazing. You're amazing. Thank you. And yes, you're right. Thoughts can just be thoughts. They don't have to be like the whole picture, guys. Remember, you're the one who gives power to these thoughts. Period. I've thought crazy shit that I did not want to happen, and I just wouldn't give it power, and it would not happen, of course, because I wouldn't allow that. So you guys be strong about that too for yourselves too, okay? We all can do this. Okay. Someone said, "Hello, Electra. Hey, boo. Love you so much. I love you too. Thank you. Do you have any advice on how to deal with spirituality while having BPD, borderline personality disorder?" Thank you so much for coming to me about that because I feel like this is also so important, guys, to talk about like mental health with spirituality because this is where the spiritual psychosis stuff comes in. All right. Because there have been times, okay, a little bit of lore. That guy that I told y'all about, the one that I knew in high school who ended up taking his life, who was like very deeply into spiritual psychosis and stuff like that. He actually had schizophrenia. Like he was confirmed diagnosed with schizophrenia. I will say that I honestly have always believed that with like mental illnesses and stuff like that, I feel like it's you have like an untapped power that is not fully understood. And that's why it feels so polarizing to be you. It's because you're a person who experiences life on a totally different spectrum that a lot of people cannot understand yet. And I say yet because I feel like we're understanding more and more, and that's also where it comes in, like with BPD. If you're someone with BPD while also being a very spiritual person, I feel like the biggest thing as well is really getting your mind away from anything that could potentially trigger you in terms of a spiritual psychosis, because I know that with BPD, it's very overwhelming to undergo such extreme measures, honestly, like constantly. It feels very constant. And I feel like one of the biggest tips I can give you is always taking things very slow. I feel like with BPD, you have to take things very slow because it's easy for things to become a lot like a much bigger deal than they're supposed to be, especially if maybe someone with BPD doesn't feel good in that moment, right? So take things very slowly, move at your own speed, move very comfortably, and always be sure to stop and to I want to say reason with yourself, but what I really want to say is talk to yourself. Like talk to yourself and remind yourself that everything that you're experiencing spiritually speaking, if you're daydreaming a lot, if you're manifesting a lot, things like this, that this is all stuff that you move at your own pace with. No one's rushing you, no one's pushing you, that you can do things according to your own agenda, and that even if some days, sometimes you genuinely do not feel good at all, you feel overwhelmed, you feel stuck, maybe you spiraled or whatever, quote unquote spiraled, and you maybe whatever, you feel not your very best right here in this very moment, that is when you take the moment away from indulging so deeply into spirituality in an overwhelming way. And then you just remind yourself, like, okay, self care first. Like, let me take it easy. Let me slow it down for myself because right now I'm feeling like too anxious. I'm feeling too, you know what I mean? Like too amped up in that way. You take it slow, you take it back, and then you give yourself separation to really understand what it is that you're personally feeling. And then when you're ready, you come back to the main picture at hand, which is your spirituality, and you start to slowly amp yourself right back into the mindset of knowing I'm always divinely cared for. I got guardian angels by my side. I know that they're going to take care of me. I don't have to genuinely worry about anything. Like remind yourself that you don't have to worry about these things because you will always be divinely cared for, because the more that you remind yourself of those things is the more that you not only believe it but you feel it, you see it. And I'm telling you guys, genuinely, it's like affirming. Literally, you affirm it to yourself, you're going to see it, you're going to feel it, you're going to believe it, and you're going to naturally feel better, but you take it slowly to that place. Okay, so that's definitely the biggest thing. I feel like be comfortable, be slow, just be calm, and do everything in your highest power to keep yourself there. And if you ever feel a bit like you could get triggered by something, just take a step back for real, okay? Even if it's over auras or if it's over angel numbers or whatever, take a step back for real. Take a step back, take a second, and just be like, "Girl, it's okay. Let's not even think about it. Let's just give myself a fucking minute. Like, let me just reason with myself." And even if you don't want to talk to yourself, just feel yourself out. But please, just make sure to feel yourself out. You know what I mean? Like, just you can do it. Like, you can literally pace yourself in that way, and it does help so much. I don't have BPD, but I know very much of like these things, and I've had my own experiences with other things that were very, very overwhelming, but we always have like a lot of power in making our like making ourselves feel so much better. Like we have so much energy and so much power in creating our realities. We can definitely do this, and I believe in you, for real. Nothing can stop you. Never let anything, no stigma, no anything, mental illness, anything, nothing can stop you. Don't let any of it, because remember, you're still the sole creator, and you still are the one who's in control. You're the one who's empowered. Nothing and no one can over dominate that ever, ever. Okay, so can okay, hold on. Let me read this. Okay, someone said, "How can we visualize without daydreaming to that extent?" Okay, how can we visualize without daydreaming to that extent? Visualizing without daydreaming, I feel like low key it is kind of like it's very much, like on the border of each other because, you visualize, you could end up daydreaming, things like that. But if you're going to be visualizing without daydreaming, I feel like the biggest thing that you can do is honestly, it's just like an image in your mind. That's what I do. I visualize all the time too. I do daydream a lot, but I can also visualize, and there is a difference between the two. Obviously, if you're daydreaming, you are visualizing too. But again, there is a difference. So with visualization, it's not something that you're indulging yourself into in a way that it's like, almost like a fantasy, like you're not creating this fantasy world for yourself, I guess you could say, or like creating this how do I say it, like a over dramatized version of certain things. When you're visualizing, you're more focused on the realism aspects of things. So if you're visualizing, you could, for example, be visualizing you receiving a lot of money, but you wouldn't say I'm daydreaming about me receiving a lot of money, because to me, I feel like daydreaming sounds more um like fantasy based, and then visualization sounds more like implemented in the physicality, you know, you're manifesting money, you're manifesting love. I'm visualizing myself on this date. I'm visualizing myself again receiving money. I'm visualizing myself maybe looking even prettier, whatever, right? And then when you're daydreaming, it's kind of like scenarios, I feel, that maybe don't feel entirely realistic to you, but maybe you still feel like they are realistic. So if you're going to be visualizing instead of daydreaming, remember, guys, that the things that you're seeing are all very real. Like, make sure that what you're seeing in your mind's eye are things that do feel very real. They're things that you know are coming to life for you, like you're literally physically manifesting them, and that you don't get too carried away. It's not like you're getting so indulged into it that you just forget everything else. It's honestly, I feel like it's a brief moment. It's got like a little hair still in the air. Got it. Can you see it? But yeah, basically with visualization, it's kind of like make it a point that you are creating this, you're manifesting this, it's here. It's like 5 seconds. I swear visualization can take like a second. And then daydreaming it's a longer period of time where you're literally thinking about all these different scenarios of things that could happen, could not happen, whatever. So remember that for yourself whenever you are thinking about these things. And also remember that, yeah, basically you have the power to visualize on one hand and then daydream on the other if that's what you want. But just remember that, yeah, you call the shots. So it's always your say, period. And yes, you know the difference. Okay. So visualization is more like realism to me. And then daydreaming is more of like the fantasy of creating certain things depending on what it is, like maybe an exaggerated concept of something or an exaggerated scene that you want to see. Okay, so oh, thank you. He said, Electra is the only person I can trust. That's why I have started my law of assumption journey and overcoming doubts. Thank you so much for saying that. That's so sweet. How to be motivated when you are manifesting something and you don't see any movement and you feel discouraged. Whenever I feel discouraged, I keep reminding myself that people are actually manifesting everything they want, just like you. Thank you, Electra. Your live sessions are so, so helpful. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for saying all these things because you're really sweet, really kind. And I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. God bless you, genuinely, and Angel, like for real. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna take a picture. But okay, so when you said how to be motivated when you are manifesting something and you don't see any movement and you feel discouraged, again, it's like what I said, you have to remember that like this is your responsibility. I feel like one of the biggest things that people have to remember is that if you're choosing to consciously manifest something, you have a responsibility now. Like you don't just say that you're manifesting X, Y, and Z and you want it so badly and then forget about it, in the sense that it's like you can do that if you don't really care about it or if you're cool with it coming whenever. Because honestly, like, yeah, I've done that. I've been like, I really want X, Y, and Z, and then I just don't really think about it, and then it comes. But in other cases, it's like people who deeply obsess over things that they want. You have to understand that you need to make this easy for yourself. Like, you have to make this simple. You have to make this something that works out for you. You don't have to be somebody who falls victim to things that you don't want to be a part of. Like, if you don't want to live an unhappy life, then don't think so hard about you having an unhealthy life, like, or an unhappy life, literally unhealthy and unhappy. You can definitely just create things as you're saying that they are, and then trusting that as you're saying these things, somehow this life will prove it to you. Like, you have to literally keep it that fucking simple. And I'm saying that in any way, shape, or form. If you want to visualize, if you want to affirm, if you want to just say it out loud, whatever it is that you want to do, do it. But you have to trust that what you're saying and what you're doing for yourself, mentally speaking, are all things that are, yes, coming together for you. You have to have a lot bigger trust than basically trusting external validation. It's like, if someone doesn't call you pretty, does that mean you're not pretty? No, that doesn't mean anything. You just have to basically trust yourself enough to know that you're fucking gorgeous no matter what anyone does or doesn't say to you. And as you're saying, the more that you're believing these things, you're going to see it more and more. So obviously, as you're manifesting these things, you're going to literally see it more and more. And just like you believe in your beauty, even if no one's told you that you're beautiful, you know that you are, so you are, and that's it. That's literally exactly the same concept. And you guys have to take this from every single perspective and make it spiritual, or make it like for conscious manifesting. Basically, you say that you want a flat screen TV or whatever. Okay, well, remind yourself that you fucking have it, and think about it from a perspective that gives you confidence in that fact. And then somehow someone's going to walk through that door with the damn same flat screen TV that you've been saying that you had, basically, but you're not freaking out about it because you always knew that you were going to have it, because you have confidence in that, naturally speaking. You guys got this. We can do this. Okay. Hey, Cherry Sun. Okay, so you said, "Hey, Electra, I was in your last live and I want to update you about my religion problem. There's a lot that I have to say, but word limit, lol. I've been seeing changes after you acknowledged my comment, and I'm more confident now than ever that I'll be free from this religion soon. Good. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you so much for telling us that, telling the class that, because I literally thought about you, I think yesterday. I was like, oh, I intend, no, I thought about you on Friday. I was like, I intend that they're doing that. Like, I remember thinking, I was like, I intend that they're using their time wisely to just think about things that they want to. And, while you're in church and things like that, that you don't want to be there for, that you're using it in your highest favor. And then, like you see that implemented into your reality. And yeah, things are changing. Like, of course, they're going to change, especially with your intentions. So I'm really happy to hear that. And thank you so much for updating all of us, because that's really great. I'm honestly going to take a picture of this because I'm really happy to hear that. So thank you so much for telling us that. Thank you, and God bless you. Okay, okay, let's see. Okay, God bless you. All right. Someone said, "Oh, my cat's so cute. Thank you. It's really sweet. She's a calico. Can you see? Oh my God. Her name is Penny, and she's a Pisces. She's a bratty Pisces. I love her. You see? She's so cute. She's like purring so much. Baby, baby. Okay. So someone said, "I'm trying to manifest a pet sitting side hustle, period. I love pet sitting side hustles, bruh, so much. But I'm doubtful about the risks. You see, I just told you how much I love it. If I'm doing it, you can do it. Any ways to manifest through that. Okay, so about the risk, I'm assuming you're saying like what, losing a pet, maybe them running out, them biting you, like what? But upon that, I'm gonna tell you that don't do not fear anything that could come with it. Just go with it and have trust that everything will be all right. And that is my best advice, because I've thought about scenarios too. I've been a dog watcher, dog sitter, cat sitter, pet sitter. I've done all of it. Like, I've slept over people's houses. I've come in early. I've come in several times during the day to people's people strangers that don't even know me, or well, they know me when they meet me, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I go to their houses and I literally just take care of their dog that I don't even fucking know. And I remember I used to fear, yeah, back then I'd be like, oh, but what if like the dog runs out? What if something happens to this? And what if that? What if whatever, right? You literally just have to trust, like everything else, that everything will be all right. You have to trust that whatever your responsibility is when you're dog sitting or cat sitting or pet sitting, is that, yeah, like everything will work itself out, because you're someone who's naturally very good with animals. That's how I see it for myself. I'm naturally very good with animals. So whatever I do with animals will be good, and we will both be good, and everyone will be good. And I feel like that mindset will help you out a lot. And it's going to give you a lot of peace and clarity, because you're literally going to see that everything will be fine, and that you pet sitting will be perfect. Like, everything will fall into place for you. And even if you have any doubts, the owners who are asking you to watch the pets are going to be very helpful and accommodating to you, because that's how they always are, because they understand you're taking care of their pet, and you both are very precious, like you and the pet, because you guys are together. You're taking care of them, and the pet needs you. So remember that, have trust in that, and it's going to be great. Honestly, like, it'll be fine. I promise it'll be great. And let us know when you get that hustle, period. You already do. You already got it, period. Just like that. Love that. Okay, someone said, "Oh my God, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia too. It's so trippy. That's so sad he ended his life." I know, it was really sad. I really feel like he was going through like a lot of he was going through like a very deep spiritual psychosis. It was like one of those things where you couldn't like really snap him out of it, because he really believed in what he was saying, and I understand that. But it was very overwhelming, I feel. And I feel like even with schizophrenia, I feel like that's so like I don't know, schizophrenia to me feels so spiritual. I genuinely believe that like so many mental illnesses are so spiritual. And sometimes what these psychiatrists do is they just throw you a bottle of medicine, and they're like, "Here, take this poison from the government." And it's like I understand, but guys, like, everyone deserves so much better. Like, everyone deserves to be naturally happier, healthier, better. People who actually care about you are the ones who should be in charge of all that stuff. So I really do believe that there's a lot of like stigmas around this and stuff like that, but there's truth to everything. I do believe that there's a lot of spirituality behind mental illnesses, though, for sure, because it just goes very deep, and it's very monumental as well. And it's very effective. The more that you like resonate yourself with such things, it kind of like takes over your life even more. So that's why it's so important to be so strong-minded. And even in that case, let's say if you're diagnosed with like depression or something, you don't let that take over your life, because I've I've been through that, like, for real, and I could have let it, like, literally take over my entire life, but I didn't wanna feel that way or be that way, so I didn't let it, and then it went away, thank God, like, it's, like, managed, manageable because you let it be manageable, and you can definitely let it be that way if you let it. I promise you, it's all about the mind, it really is. Okay, someone said, "Love your videos." Aw, thank you so much. Been watching you since I was young. That's so cute. Thank you. I have trouble manifesting. Do you think I might be blocked due to my unregulated nervous system? If I am, could you suggest any tips? Nope. Absolutely not. You are not blocked by anything, not blocked by your unregulated nervous system, nothing. You're not blocked at all, and you don't have trouble manifesting. What it is that you don't have a trust in yourself. You don't have, like, confidence, full confidence in yourself and in your abilities, and that's really what's quote unquote getting it, because it makes you feel it doesn't make you feel as powerful as you truly are. Okay, the biggest thing that I have a tip for you is removing the fact that you think that anything could be in your way. I want that out of your mindset. I don't want you to think that anything could be the reason as to why you do or why you don't. You are literally the only reason. If you're not manifesting, or if you think you're not, because you always are, but if you assume that you're having trouble, it's literally because you think that you are. Like, you believe that, but it's not true. So you may as well get that mindset out and just tell yourself that this is a very easy thing for you. It's always been very easy for you to manifest. Manifesting has always been extremely simple and doable and just like the easiest thing on this earth for you. And I promise you, like, just like I'm telling you, I'm literally just like this. I was going to say more, but I feel like that was enough, because I feel like if you just say those simple words to yourself that it's super easy for you, it's not that deep, it's not that serious, and it does not overwhelm you. It makes you feel very calm, actually. You don't overthink this. You don't go on in spirals, mentally speaking, about all this stuff. You keep it simple. I promise you, you will see such a big difference in your reality, because you're creating that for yourself, which is a huge flex, and you're going to see how easy it is for you to manifest. And you're going to realize nothing was ever in my way. I just thought there was, but there wasn't. Like, the path is clear, baby. Nothing here is holding you back, especially not your nervous system. The nervous system always works with you, never against you. And you're always regulating it, so you don't have to worry about that either. Yay. Okay, next person said, "Have you ever felt weird while affirming new story? That new desired story is so fucking uncomfortable." Yes, I actually have felt that way before. And it was more in a time when I was, like, very deeply involved with my mindset about limiting beliefs, like, when I believed that the things that I didn't want were mine, and the things that I did want were nowhere near me, things like that. It's like the more that you believe in such limiting beliefs is the crazier or the more uncomfortable that the news story makes you. But I promise you, if you're kind to yourself and if you work with yourself and if you correct yourself and your mental diet, you saying the new story will feel very natural. And even if it doesn't feel that natural at first, it will become very natural. Like, you will feel very comfortable, and it will feel very complimentary. Another here. It will feel very complimentary to you and your reality as you're continuing to say those things to yourself. Okay. So the biggest thing I will say is, like, don't claim uncomfortable energy with your news story. Get really comfortable with it and understand that you deserve that. And if you don't understand or feel like you do just yet, that's where mental diet work comes in. Like, you have to talk to yourself in that way, and you have to redirect yourself and understand that this is very comfortable. Like, this is what you deserve, and this is how it is. Like, why would that be uncomfortable, bro? That's literally the only thing that should be comfortable, period. Right? Okay, like, you have to have boundaries. You have to claim that you have what you want and move with that shit, run with it. Move mountains with it, because you can, and you're doing it just like that, and you definitely are. You definitely are. But okay, last 2 things, guys. Okay, someone said, "How did you come up with the name Electra Soul for your channel?" That's a cute question. Electra was from Electra Heart, which is really crazy because I was actually listening to, The State of Dreaming by Marina and the Diamonds. I started listening to her when I was 13, 12. I was like 12 years old. And wow, that's crazy. There's 13 people in this chat. Yeah, so I started listening to Marina and the Diamonds when I was 12, and then I really liked Electra, like, I like that Electra part. I didn't think too much about it. I feel like it was literally just my soul wanted, like, I feel like my soul was meant for that. And I just read a comment, I'll read that after. But yeah, I was like Electra. When I was coming up with my name, I thought Electra Spirit or Electra Soul. And I was like, I don't know. I was like Electra Spirit. I was like, like, I feel like it was too much. Like, a spirit was like it wasn't even long. Spirit. Spirit. That's 2 syllables. Soul. Okay. Yeah, it was good. Electra Soul. So I just put it together. Electra, which is something that I've loved since Marina and the Diamonds. And then soul, because I'm my soul, like literally soulful. It's all very soulful. So I put it together, and that's where the magic was made. Thank you for asking. It's very cute. Aw, thank you, Reppint L. Thank you. Oh, you fucking bit me. She's so spicy, bruh. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You're so sweet. God bless you, Angel. Thank you. And you're gifted too, by the way. Cherry Sun said, seeing you and Penny just made me decide to manifest a pet. It's so sweet. God bless. Thank you for everything you do. God bless you. That's so sweet. Thank you. You see her? She heard you. I'm kidding. Thank you, honey, though. I truly you got your pet already, like period. It's already manifested. I love to hear it. So thank you for telling me that too. And that's really sweet. I'm gonna take a picture of this. Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. Hey, Capricorn sis, yes, period, yes. And yes, Matthew, thank you. I really appreciate that too. Thank you so much. And thank you, young bald 555. Young Blade. That's funny. Young Bald. Thank you, Young Bald. That's really sweet. Thank you for all the positivity you put out. Thank you for all the positivity you're putting out, because that's what matters the most. And with that being said, guys, I will see y'all on Thursday for another it would be Law of Assumption Thursday video. And I'm super excited because we're going to talk about something Law of Assumption based. Maybe we'll talk about manifesting a pet. I want to lift her, but she's going to scream, I bet. You hear her growling? Baby, it's okay. Look at the camera. Oh, she's so sweet. I intend that you all get exactly what you all are manifesting, because you all will, and that everything manifests for you, works out for you as it always should, always does, period. I love you guys. God bless you. Say bye, Penny. Bye. I love you guys. I'll see you on Thursday. God bless. Please take care, everyone. Bye. Thank you guys. Love you.